GM employee program participants with a current GM lease.
It seems like we are talking about these viral videos of people of color dealing with calls to police for ordinary, non-criminal things every day. In the past few days, stories surfaced about Native American students attending a college tour reported by a suspicious parent. A black grad student who fell asleep at a common area in her dorm reported by a white fellow grad student. And a group of friends who were detained by police while they were checking out of their Airbnb rental reported by a white neighbor of the homeowner. And the Airbnb guests and their lawyer are calling on Rialto police to hold the caller accountable. Joining me now to discuss, filmmaker Kelly Fife Marshall, activist and filmmaker Denisha Prendergast, and artist Komi Olafemihan, and their attorney Jasmine Rain. Good to have all of you with us this morning.
Good to be here with us this morning.
So, Denisha, first let's start here. This was last Monday, April 30th. You were checking out of this Airbnb, and it seemed, pretty normal, packing things up. And then what happened?
Wow. And then out of nowhere, police cars swooped down on us from in front of us and behind us. It was kind of surreal.
And you didn't know that anything was out of the ordinary until the police car showed up?
No, we can't say anything was out of the ordinary. When I came out, we were packing our vehicle, and Kelly indicated to me, she said, look over that lady over there. And the lady was standing on her front lawn, looking over at us with her hand akimbo and her hand to her phone. And she said, she's probably going to call the police. And I kind of just scoffed at it and went back inside because why would she? And so said, so done. The reality is we were black people in a white neighborhood, and that was enough to call the police.
When you say that she's probably going to call the police and you asked why, we do have actually sound released by the Rialto Police Department. An officer went to her and she said that she was scared, and here's the explanation from her why she was scared. Let's listen.
Oh, well, I walked out here and, just to check the mail and I see these strange people coming in, going back and forth, with luggage, and I didn't recognize them.
What made you think they were strange?
Because they had luggage in their hand and they weren't really looking at me. They just kind of avoided me, or they didn't wave, like neighbors normally. And I noticed the couple that were in there that owned the house, and I didn't recognize them.
Now, that might have been a little difficult to hear, Komi. I assume you've heard it before. When the police released it, she said that they didn't wave, like neighbors.
That's why that bitch called the cops, yo. So, some property owner has a house in a neighborhood that he doesn't live in. He just rents it out to people who need to, Airbnb for a couple of days. You're in town for a while. You want something nicer than a hotel, a nice full kitchen or whatever, and it's, several people. Well, just rent a house for a couple of days. That's what they did. They were at the house for like 3 or 4 days. Whatever business they had to attend to was done, and they were leaving the house with their luggage in a strange neighborhood where they don't know anyone. So why the fuck do they have to speak to people or look in your general direction? You're nobody. You're nobody. What the who the fuck are you? And her reason was, because they didn't look at me, they didn't acknowledge me, and they didn't wave at me. So I thought that was strange. That was really strange that they didn't wave and acknowledge my presence. So it made me fearful. And so I'm calling the police.
What's your reaction to that? And here's the explanation from her why she was scared. Let's listen.
Oh, well, I walked out here and, just to check the mail and I see these strange people coming in, going back and forth, with luggage, and I didn't recognize them.
What made you think they were strange?
Because they had luggage in their hand and they weren't really looking at me.
Well, what made you think that they were strange? Well, because they had luggage in their hands and they weren't really looking at me.
Luggage, and I didn't recognize them.
What made you think they were strange?
Because they had luggage in their hand and they weren't really looking at me. You know, they just kind of avoided me, or they didn't let neighbors know me. And I noticed the couple that were in there that owned the house, and I didn't recognize them.
Now that might have been a little difficult to hear, Comey. I assume you've heard it before when the police released it. You said that they didn't wave, like neighbors. What's your reaction to that from that homeowner?
Well, before Comey starts, I want to make something very clear that
Go ahead, Justin.
This is only a part of the video footage that has been released. We look forward to receiving the full 911 tapes, which we have not received yet, that we requested over a week ago from the Rialto Police Department. The other thing that I want to make very clear is that the police officers arrived on the scene and actually informed them that this neighbor called and reported that there were 3 black people stealing stuff. Now, if that's not what this woman said, then that's a real disconnect. It's actually a lie on behalf of the Rialto Police Department, and that goes more to the mindset of those officers.
Yeah, that's also included in the recordings. You can hear the officer explaining to the 3 here. And Comey, your reaction to what you hear from this neighbor?
I don't know how to react to that. She said we look strange, and I don't know what about us was strange. If I was in my neighborhood and I saw someone coming out of a house with luggage, I would not automatically suspect that they were stealing. So that is my response to that. That is the first time I'm actually hearing that. But yeah.
Kelly, you said, and I'm going to read this here because I want to quote you accurately. At first, we joked about the misunderstanding and took photos and videos along the way. About 20 minutes into this misunderstanding, it escalated almost instantly. What escalated, and tell me about that switchover.
So before, it felt like we felt like we were going to be able to go, but the sergeant came. And so once the sergeant came, the mood and the energy changed completely. He didn't believe anything we were saying. He didn't believe the Airbnb app that we'd shown. He didn't believe the landlord that we had called, and the picture we were shown. They called the landlord and got a DMV picture, and they showed it to us, and we all agreed, yeah, that's her. And the sergeant said, but of course they would say that. And so at that point, it just felt like everything was against us.
Jasmine, I read that you said that this woman who made this call to police needs to be held accountable. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Well, there's under California statute, there is a mechanism where if somebody places a false call to the police or makes false allegations that leads to this type of criminal investigation and detainment and a violation of constitutional rights, they can certainly do an investigation into this woman and hold her accountable. Now, it's not reasonable to see 4 people and one of them is right, but you only perceive 3 of those people to be suspicious, and those people all have black skin. You know, to me, the same thing that made them suspicious to this neighbor is the same thing that made Trayvon Martin suspicious to George Zimmerman. And that's wrong, and that can't continue to happen in our nation.
Now, what's your response to those online? Because this is, as you know, blowing up on social media, who say that this woman saw someone across the street at a house where she knew the owners, she knew the couple that lived there.
So have you guys heard this story? I posted about this, like, when it first happened. I guess it was like the day of or maybe the day after it happened. But like for the past 2 weeks, like all these weird stories just keep coming out. Like white people calling the cops on niggas for no reason. Like literally no reason. And no reason at all. But then in this situation, like the cops swarm these motherfuckers. It wasn't like one patrol car came out with a deputy just to check things out. Or maybe one patrol car with 2 officers. Nah, it was like 2 cop cars here, 2 cop cars there. They had a fucking helicopter flying over this fucking neighborhood. It was like, really? Bitch, we're just checking out of a house we rented. That's all it is. This is my luggage. This is my belongings. I'm not stealing. But it's like, I don't know. The lady who called the cops on the on the guys in the park cooking out. It's a park. There's a designated cooking area, and she got butthurt because they were using charcoals and not a gas grill. Cause you're not supposed to use charcoals here. I'm calling the cops. And it's like, really, bitch? Really? Or the one girl who fell asleep in the commons area in her own dorm at the university that she attends. She just fell asleep, you know what I'm saying? The lights were out. She was studying. She was like, yo, fuck that. I'm not even walking downstairs. I'm gonna just catch a quick nap. so I can get back at it. But no, she's sleeping in there, and some lady calls the cops on her because she's sleeping in the commissary. Like, really? Really? For real? This is 2018, man. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard another story from my home state. This motherfucker, this white dude, tried to hire a motherfucking white supremacist to kill his neighbor and burn the cross in his yard. Said, I'm gonna give you another down payment because I might have some more black people I want you to kill. This motherfucker been talking to an undercover cop. Like, really though? Really? You trying to hire a fucking Klansman to murder your black neighbor? Your neighbor. You know? And they say, Trent, what? You be talking about all this old shit. Motherfucker, this shit just happened yesterday.
Did not recognize the people coming out, and she, even if it's based on some prejudice or some belief about black people, she knowingly did not call about black people specifically. She was calling about, I don't know these people coming out and they're not speaking to me.
Well, first of all,
if I can answer that question,
go ahead.
Jasmine, I think I would have hoped that she would have called her neighbor first. Why didn't she just call the neighbor before she called the police? Why was her first intention to call the police? What did she want to happen? And why was the protocol to respond in the manner that they did? Is that something standard? And if it is, then that concerns us, because how much money was spent within those few moments?
Yeah.
How much time was spent when they could have been doing something better, actually serving and protecting the community? I didn't feel served or protected in those moments.
Jasmine.
And why didn't she wave to them? That's a great question that nobody's asked. Why didn't you wave to them first and see if they waved back? Why do you expect black people to wave at you at your behest so that you feel secure? Her position is completely unreasonable. And to the people out there on social media, I refuse to have them ask my clients to apologize, because it is a blessing that they're alive today to speak about this, and they have a responsibility to protect other people's rights. These are not these. Every single one of my clients is an activist.
Bro, if you look like me and had a smile like this, how could you get tired of that shit? I look at this shit every day. You know what I'm saying? I look at myself and I think, self, your family has some pretty good genes. And I agree with that. Because it's me, and me, and me, and me, and me, and me. Fully dressed, half naked, full naked, VR. Because I love myself, and you can't love nobody else if you don't love yourself. Because I love myself so much, man. That's how I love everybody else. I got so much love to give, but I know I'm important. I know I'm important. So I focus on myself and my self-happiness, and looking real good make me happy. Painting myself naked makes me happy. Would you paint yourself naked and let everybody see it? Huh? Would you? Oh man. Never get tired of painting myself, man. I am an excellent model. I know how to respond to the camera. I know what the photographer wants, since I am the photographer. So it's cool. And you know what? I don't even gotta pay myself. I just paint myself. When we bring all my paint, I done painted myself like 20 times. I was thinking about that shit the other day, don't lie, yo. Word up though. I was like, damn, how many self-portraits do I have? I started 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. God damn, that's a lot. Oh boy, that forehead look magnificent every time, dog. That's how I got 5 rows of bridges in there. Like, yeah. I tell you, man, your smarts is in the front of your brain, yo. That's where all your smarts is at. Your frontal lobe, your pineal gland. That shit is in the front of your head. Motherfuckers with more space right here have more room for more smarts. You see the motherfuckers with their hairline that damn near touch their eyebrows, looking like a fucking chimpanzee and shit. Them motherfuckers got a very small frontal lobe. You're not really smart. When you see all this extra cranium, that dome, man, that's room for knowledge. I'm happy my head this big. You see them old ass motherfucking hieroglyphics of the Egyptians? The motherfuckers would shape their head so it'll come up real long, yo, elongate that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? As beauty. They want a big ass forehead all the way back to that shit turned to a cone. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, man, small foreheads. That's like 8 men. You know what I'm saying? You ain't want no small forehead, man. I'm telling you right now. Small forehead people. Don't trust the motherfuckers. Think about it. Look up all your favorite actresses and all these motherfuckers. Look how big their forehead is. You'll see.
In their own right. And what we're doing right now is attempting to protect other black people who may come into that neighborhood in that area from these same police officers and from that same racist mentality. So they will not apologize to anybody for being alive. They will not apologize for not being another Michael Brown, for not being another Trayvon Martin, for being here to tell their story and to tell it in their own voice.
I've only got 2 minutes left, and Comey, let me come to you. What does accountability for the police department look like for you?
Accountability for the police department would be, first of all, releasing the 911 tapes. Let's hearing about that. And secondly, I think based off of the call, the amount of force that they came in to come get us for whatever reason, I think that needs to be addressed. I think that needs to be addressed because once you get that much force on innocent people, if they do not have the courage to speak out at that very moment, their lives may be in danger. And I think that is something that the government needs to look at, and the police force needs to look at as well.
And Kelly, to you, in the intro to this, we talked about how many of these videos we're seeing online, at Starbucks and Yale and LA Fitness.
Oh, I forgot about the Starbucks shit.
The residence is, and what do you want people?
The two black dudes sitting in Starbucks, just waiting on their homie to come. By the time the homie get there, these motherfuckers getting ushered out by the police. What happened? Shit, nigga, we waiting for you. Okay, what happened? Hell, motherfuckers called the cops on us. For what? They said we ain't buy shit. I just can't sit in here and do nothing like everybody else. That bitch over there reading a book. She ain't got no coffee, no latte, no biscuit, no crimpet, no nothing. She just over there reading a book. This motherfucker on his laptop, he ain't got shit in front of him either. They only 2 people in here. That bitch got a sandwich and this motherfucker got a goddamn coffee. And the other 2 motherfuckers in here ain't doing shit. He on his laptop, she reading the book. We just sitting here waiting on you. And they called the cops on us. What's happening there? Yeah. And you know what? Them boys got paid off that shit too, man. Starbucks gave them boys $200,000. And you know what they did? They said they kept $1 a piece, and then they gave the rest of that shit to fucking charity, yo. Let me get $1. Go back to Starbucks and get me a small mocha chocolate latte.
People who at least claim they didn't know that these things were happening to black people on a pretty regular basis. What do you want people to do? What should the reaction be?
To be allies and to step up for people if you see it's happening, and so we can stop the discrimination that's happening. I feel like everyone has a part in stopping this, and just learning that there's no such thing as being suspicious. You can't be suspicious because of the color of your skin, and so being able to step up, and for us a big thing was documenting it, and so being able to document these situations help us a lot.
All right, and finally to you, Jasmine. You are obviously their lawyer now. Have you filed any suits? Is there a suit coming?
We have not filed a lawsuit yet. What we want is what Comey said. We want the 911 tapes. We want all of the evidence released to us so I can review the evidence and determine the extent to which these constitutional rights have been violated. You know, the mayor has already issued a letter of apology. She sent a letter of apology to them saying she's sorry that this happened while they were in her city. And what I want to know is why the police department haven't done the same thing and why they've chosen instead to align themselves with a woman that they know so little about, the homeowner. And, you know, they've positioned themselves next to this homeowner and haven't even done their research. So I welcome them to continue doing that, because when the public sees who this woman is, if they do a summary look at her social media, they're going to see exactly who this woman is.
All right, Jasmine, Denisha, Kelly, Comey, thank you all for being with us this morning.
Thank
very
you.
much.
That's like the #1 way to get a motherfucker now. Look at his Facebook page. See, right there, he posted he hates white people. That means he's racist. That's why I don't let a lot of people I know on my Facebook, because y'all think I'm racist for real. But I'm not. Y'all know I'm not racist. But my shit is like my Facebook, that shit just like this show. It's kind of funny, but it's mostly education. That's how my Facebook is. Yo. Like, I just post stories like this. I just posted that shit on my Facebook. I do that shit all day. You want to laugh at some shit? Go somewhere else, man. Go laugh on somebody else's page. My shit is educational. But I don't know, man. Being a social media warrior is kind of bullshit, honestly. So I still do some boots to the ground shit occasionally, but I'm so far from like my main circle of people. And I'm not saying that I have given up, but the brainwashing is deep in this country. And like over the years, as I've begun to learn more and educate myself, I thought it was just going to be a trend, but it's not. It's really not. Like, motherfuckers just getting dumber and dumber, and it's like, y'all can't see this shit is by design. I'm just saying. You know, I used to speak at rallies, all kind of shit, protests, all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, I don't know. Motherfuckers just don't listen. And so that's why I did the one painting, The Revolution Will Not Be Televised. You know what I'm saying? And then I wrote the one poem, Mental Revolution. You know, and that's where the real revolution will take place, is in the mind of the individual. And when the individual person wants to be a good person, and it happens on a mass scale, then shit will change. Until then, shit is always going to be the fucking same. There's always going to be fucking class scale societies. There's always going to be fucking racism. And there's always going to be the rich and there's always going to be the fucking poor. Only time shit may kind of be even again is when shit starts over. And with World War III on the brinks, motherfuckers might have to start over sooner than they think. That's why Elon Musk trying to get to fucking Mars so fucking bad, yo. He's like, fuck this, bitch, we out. Let's go to Mars. They about to blow the planet up. Elon Musk said, yo, 2025, I'm putting my base on Mars. 2037, I'm out, bitch. I'm dying on Mars. I'm gonna go grow some potatoes. I'm looking for a color, and I don't know why I'm not seeing what fucking color I need. I'm gonna just ride with that for a minute. The oppressed becomes the oppressor. not necessarily. Like, I don't know. The flat Earth. Wait a minute, what the fuck I'm missing? You think the Earth flat? Elon Musk said that motherfucker put a Tesla in orbit. I think he did that to disprove all the flat earthers, you know, because all the images, everybody said, oh, NASA's fake. Oh, NASA only has composite CGI images. The continents don't even look like that. It's fake photographs. And so Elon Musk is independent. Well, why the fuck you put a car in space? Because I could. And so he shot that shit out in space, right? And they got a camera. And it saw the Earth. Shit is round. It's round. 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 I mean, in the Bible, the description of the Earth does kind of sound flat. But the Bible's fake. So you can't really believe in that shit. But there is a lot of questions about our planet, though. And about the oppressed becomes the oppressor. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Power can be distributed equally. Honestly, it can be. And in a society where everyone is, you know, social. But, you know, in these capitalistic, totalitarian dictatorships, you know what I'm saying? Especially of the American empire, shit ain't gonna be. You got shit like the British Crown and the Vatican and the U.S. Army, you know, with shit like that in existence, you know what I'm saying? Shit will never be right. And that's it. Love. That's it, bro. That's the fucking key. That's the ultimate key. That's the omega alpha wave, man, is love. But just imagine this. People who develop weapons of mass destruction, who actually use weapons of mass destruction to kill millions and millions of people. People who constantly redesign the gun over and over and over to make it more efficient. Do you think they're doing that out of love? So when you think about the most warmongering people on the face of the earth, they're normally connected with the most powerful people who have the most influence over the largest populations of the earth. And I don't think their main objective is to love people. So, but there are people who only love, you know? One day, man, one day. It took us 1,000 years to get where we're at now. And it'll take 2,000 years to halfway undo what has been done. You know what I'm saying? When will that period begin? You know, because everything is a cycle. So when will the new cycle begin? Who knows? It may already have begun. You know what I'm saying? It may not have begun yet. But it'll take way longer to undo the psychology that has been in force for 1,000 years. Because people don't know how to love. That has been beaten and taken away from almost everyone. Yeah, that's me, naked. I ain't scared to show my body. They say God made me like this. I gotta start painting in a minute, guys. I got work in the morning. Shit. Now what were we talking about? Everything. Why? Because everything is connected. And why the fuck you talk about it? Because this is art and education. What? And that's the truth. You know, the human mind has been studied extensively. The psyche of the human has been studied for so long. Motherfuckers know how you think. Motherfuckers know what gets you to tick and what pushes your buttons and what makes you happy and what makes you sad and what makes you angry and what makes you feel proud.
My name is Jerry Croft, and I'm an associate professor emeritus from Santa Clara University in psychology. I'd like to start this talk with a journey to the past. So just take a look at these pictures and give me your emotional reactions. Just think about what feelings you have when you see this. That's Ronald Reagan selling Chesterfield cigarettes and advising his friends to send cartons of cigarettes to their friends for Christmas. Nothing does it like 7-Up. We have the youngest customers in the business.
Seven Real Conspiracies by Brandon Turbyville. This is actually my homeboy. Like, this is one of my best friends. This motherfucker ain't signed my book. He signed my other book, though. I thought he signed this one, too. But these aren't conspiracies. These aren't conspiracy theories. These are real conspiracies. Such as... Well, let's go through the chapters. Chapter 1, the Federal Reserve. You know what? The Federal Reserve is not actually federal. Chapter 2, vaccines. Chemtrails. Population reduction. Fluoride in your water. One world government. And the last conspiracy, the really big one, 9/11. But this isn't a conspiracy. Black on black violence, that's a real conspiracy. The psychodynamics of black self-annihilation in the service of white domination. These are facts. That's not a conspiracy theory at all. Yes. That's hardcore facts. The destruction of black civilization. That's not a conspiracy theory. This is conspiracy facts. This is facts. So, I don't know if you think I'm just like some YouTube nerd or some shit, bro, but nah. Conspiracy theories are a poor man's book. This motherfucker don't even own a book. This motherfucker don't even own a book and talking about this the poor man's book. Bitch. bitch. What's wrong with you, man? Come on, man. Read a little bit of that. Do you even know what communism is? You ever read Karl Marx? Probably not. You probably haven't. It's just, this is basically a fucking pamphlet. You know, this is a few pages. Have you ever read this? It's only a few pages. Probably never read that. But you know, conspiracy theories are a poor man's book. Yeah. Another little pamphlet. Look. How many pages is that? Man, this shit ain't got 50 pages. This ain't even 50 pages, bruh. You know, the story of the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry, but this is not a conspiracy theory. This is a real conspiracy. It's facts. Where do I get my information from? I don't know. Not really. Because actually, the whites are the only people who have taken this shit to the level that they have. No other race has ever done this shit. Like, nobody. It's weird. It's really weird as shit. And you know, everybody, like, slavery is ancient. That shit is old. But nobody ever enslaved people like the white folks did. It's like amazing. I actually do find white supremacy amazing. That shit is truly amazing. Oh, you're mad because you're not in charge. Can I disagree with that? You know, I think the earth would be better if whites weren't in charge. You know what I'm saying? Like deforestation, polluting the ozone layer, fucking the oceans. We just got massive waves of fish just washing up dead, chemtrails, poisons in the vaccines, Monsanto's constantly making these genetically modified foods that you eat in your fast food burgers and shit. You know what? Yeah, I mean, I am kind of mad that we're not in charge. I am kind of mad that we're not in charge. Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's weird. You know, like, because it seems like you're not even supposed to be here, honestly. And I say this a lot. I got a lot of white friends, and they know this. Because, like, we live on the surface of the planet, right? We're not nocturnal creatures that live in underground terrain somewhere. We live on the surface of the planet. You know? And the planet is given life by the sun. And it's weird that the sun actually kills certain portions of the human population. Like the sun will kill you. And that's the people who are in charge, people who die from the sun. Like, how is that even possible? And that's why I find it so amazing. You're like the smallest percentage, the smallest percentage, and the sun kills you. You guys have done an amazing job. You have. Attaboy. What the Sam fuck? I don't blame the white man for everything, just most of it, like the majority of it. Yeah, mostly. No, it's not, because you can look at the Sentinel Island, where you have this race of jet black people who have been living on this island for 60,000 years. And they haven't destroyed themselves. It's just like they just still live in nature and commune with nature, and they haven't destroyed themselves. It's not human nature to destroy yourself. It's not. That's weird that you even think that. It's the human nature of some people, of certain groups of people. That's why they created nuclear weapons. Instead of trying to create nuclear fusion that would give us a new propulsion system and maybe reach Alpha Centauri, it said, no, we can split an atom. It makes amazing amounts of energy. Let's make a bomb with it. and they used it. They dropped 2 bombs and killed A lot of people. Because, but nobody else has ever done that. You know? It's weird. It's weird. It is. I find that odd. Why haven't we gone back to the moon? Because NASA says they lost the telemetry data. All the mathematic equations for the propulsion, the fuel, the angles, the trajectory, they lost that. And that's the only reason. That's stopping us from going back to the moon. We lost the telemetry data. And to rebuild all of that would take so much time. And NASA. Get the fuck out of here, NASA. Well, where's the original moon footage? We recorded over it because we needed the tapes for WrestleMania. You recorded over the original moon landing tapes and you lost the flight data. And so we can't go back to the moon. But we can still make bombs. It's not worth the cost. Come on, bro. The only piece of real estate that's not technically owned by anybody is Antarctica, and that's weird. And you can look at the Antarctica Treaty because the white man want to own everything. This motherfucker want a piece of everything. And y'all agreed for some reason and nobody can't claim that. They something down that shit. And y'all don't want to go back to the moon just as for military purposes or as shit. They something on that fucker you can mine. Just make a resort, a casino. You know, something. Motherfucker will find a way to make some money off of that shit. They love land. They just, oh, I want that. That's my property. They something up with that shit that the motherfucker, it's not worth the resources. Oh, a motherfucker will find a way. I want to go to the space station and play bingo. You're a noob. I'm a noob. Dude, I haven't even blocked you. It's just one click away, my man. Boop. But I don't gotta do that. Because I know who I am. And I don't give a fuck about trolls. Unless you get really grimy. Or sometimes I do be in like a blocky mood where I just like, fuck that. It's all good though, bro. Just know this. At this moment, right now, I am the most entertaining thing you have in your life, in your existence. And you are actually using physical energy. You're burning calories from the food that you have eaten and digested. You're using your energy to talk to me. Yeah, imagine that. I like it. I like when people do that. Don't feel so bad. It's okay. It's okay that I'm entertaining you. You can hey, what's up? You can change the channel at any time, but you won't. You know why? Because I'm cool as shit. And I'm about to paint myself naked. Ooh. Ooh. I'm only supposed to be in here an hour after work, man. I done burnt damn near the whole hour talking. Forcing them to think it's dangerous. I know, man, but it's weird because they don't really see that a troll already has a position of cognitive dissonance. You're watching something that no one is forcing you to watch. You're doing this of your own free will. And if you disagree with it, you have every opportunity to change the channel. But instead, you rather engage with something that seems distasteful to you. That's weird. That's weird as fuck. I'm gonna send this motherfucker like 20 messages. You're gonna hear me. You're a noob. You're a noob. Yo, I'm just so happy to be off work, yo. Oh my God, yo, today was fucking murder. It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, even my boss was like, yo, I'm about to go the fuck home. And then it started storming. He was like, man, if the fucking power trips out, I'm quitting. I was like, oh my God. It was one of them days, yo, that shit would not fucking end. My machine's fucked up like 8 times. And I'm like, I'm in this bitch sweating my fucking ass off. And it's like, Jesus, come on, 6 o'clock. 12 hours. What the fuck? Who does this shit for 12 hours? Africans invented everything. Duh. Language, architecture, astrology, medicine, spiritualism. We created everything. Yeah. Yeah, you know. Economic systems, governmental systems, cities, slavery, monetary systems. Yeah, we did all that. It's nothing new. That's what I say. But but once again, as almost every culture, just not Africans, the Arabs had slaves, the Romans had slaves, but you know, if you were a Roman slave, you still had your name, you know, so you know where you came from. You even had, you know, opportunity to get out of slavery, you know, and most of the time slaves were like basically some warring shit. Okay, well, we want to take some territory. You guys are here. Oh, all right, we won. Now you guys kind of belong to us because we won. You know, shit, keep your religion, all that shit, man. Just look, pay us some taxes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all just gotta work for us now, and we can marry your wives and women and stuff. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be a big happy family. But chattel slavery in America? Oh, y'all already know how that shit went. Your language, your God, your identity is gone. All of that. For centuries. What? No, I don't smoke. He's showing signs of madness. Self-pity. I'm self-made. I'm self-made. No self-pity. I get mine. You know what I'm saying? To the extent that I want to get it, you know? I'm happy. That's what most of these trolls don't like about me, is I'm happy. Motherfucker, shit. You know, yo, my generation, the era I come from, I'm from that generation that motherfuckers ain't think they was gonna live to be 21. You know what I'm saying? I'm already past 21, babe. I live a good life. I eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? I exercise. I got a well-paying job. I make beautiful masterpieces of art and sell my art all over the fucking world. I got a crazy gorgeous smile, and my hair, that shit smell like roses. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucking happy. That's what y'all, that's y'all problem. I'm trying to give y'all some of this positive energy, baby. I'm trying to give y'all some of this art and education. This motherfucker talking about, oh, I think this motherfucker's losing his mind. You know what? All these dudes still looking at me naked. You still looking at me naked though. That's real. That's real shit though. Africans are built in shape. They really do much. You know why? Because we were bred this way. For about 16 generations, they only bred bucks who can withstand long hours of back-breaking fucking work in harsh conditions. And that's what you really fear about the black man, subconsciously, is we have bred a fucking beast. Naturally, these motherfuckers are built like stallions. Why did we do that? Obesity. Man, shit. You don't see a lot of fat motherfuckers like me, boy. That's your own doing. The roosters may come home. The chickens may come home to roost. Africans are built by... you bred us like that, homie. I got good genes. I got the genes of all the slaves you couldn't fucking kill. All the motherfuckers who survived. All them genes is in me, dog. Think about that shit. I'm the best of the best of the best. Physically, yeah. Genetically, yes. The best of the best of the best. After fucking 300 years of fucking trying to get the strongest workers. Y'all done made all these Michael Jordans and Kobe Bryants and LeBrons and all these great football players built like a brick. They say, I really don't have to do shit. That should just come like that. I'm 37 years old, dog. I'm 37. This is a conversation. Yeah, all I gotta do is eat good. That's all I gotta do. 37 years old. And I only got one gray hair. You see it? It's right there. I got one gray hair and my mustache. Whoa. Have you ever seen a black dude just go out in the jungle and try to feed a silverback gorilla a banana? And we don't do shit like that. You see that motherfucker try to hunt them lions? No. Oh yeah, the one dude, they shot the one lion, and then the other lion come up and chase their ass. And then the one motherfucker, he was on the safari, they in the cage, looking at the lions. This motherfucker get out the cage, he wanna go walk up to the lion. That lion ate his ass and dragged his ass to death. Hey, we don't do no shit like that. You know, a silverback gorilla rip you apart. Man, a motherfucking chimpanzee will rip your ass apart. That's why you gotta tranquilize the motherfuckers before y'all get to them. Put them in the cage and look at them. Look at them chimpanzee. Animal prison. Animal prisons. You guys are fun. I haven't had this many trolls in a session in a long time, yeah. Honestly. He can't. That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like, bro, I've been streaming for a couple of years now. I've heard almost everything, yo. Trolls are just, they're not even annoying anymore. I just find them funny. Trolls are just funny as fuck. That's what, because they ain't got shit else to watch. These motherfuckers can be watching like reruns of motherfucking Game of Thrones, or Naked and Afraid, or whatever the fuck y'all be watching. I don't fucking know what you like, but you could be watching anything else. You could be watching a motherfucker play the new goddamn Far Cry 4 game or whatever. But you watching me paint myself naked. And there's something wrong with me. Dude.
Experience a blend of refined craftsmanship.
Because it's these issues, what's really important is to get out the information to people, and you don't, and you're not allowed in the mainstream media, you individually, and so so the history of for example, the votes in the UN I think it's really important to go into them. So, but this is a question from a young person, because he says he's a young person, and I think it's important. It relates to the question you just asked. So, it said, would you please talk about the bonds between conservative America and Israel? I think perhaps my age limits my understanding. What combination of ideology, propaganda, lobbying, and money makes Israel's security such a sacred American cow? A wonderful question, I think.
It's a good question, but and these are important factors. I mean, let's start with what's called conservative support from Israel. At first, I think some kind of semantic hygiene is useful. There's really no conservatives in the United States. The people who are called conservatives are radical statists, for the most part. That's very different from... there are a few genuine conservatives, which means something like classical liberals, but not many. What are called if you take a look at what's at the Republican Party today, which is the strongest, extreme support for Israeli policies, they have a popular base. A large part of the popular base is Christian evangelicals. They are passionate supporters of Israeli policies, and they're also extreme anti-Semites. If you take a look at they don't say it, but take a look at the doctrines, like the dispensationalist doctrines. They're looking forward to a battle in Armageddon, where everybody gets murdered and the saved souls rise to heaven. And what happens to the Jews? Well, according to some of these versions, 160,000 of them find Christ in time and they're saved. The rest are condemned to eternal damnation. Now, how can you be more anti-Semitic than that? And in fact, their support for Israel is because partly, interpretation of the Bible, interpretation of the Book of Revelations, and so on and so forth, which leads them to strongly support Israeli crimes, to the extent that, Israel welcomes the support, but it also tries to control them. Like when they try to blow up the Temple Mount and so on, Israel doesn't think that's a good idea, so they block them. But why is the Republican Party, why does it have a popular base like that? That's part of its popular base. Another part of its popular base is people who are so terrified that they have to have a gun in their pocket when they go into Starbucks to get a cup of coffee. That's something that goes way back in American history. This has always been a very frightened country, and for pretty understandable reasons. From the very beginning, there were real threats from the people we were suppressing. The Indians could fight back. Black slaves might revolt. After the Haitian Revolution, there's a huge fear, so everybody has to have a gun. We have to protect ourselves. And it goes on and on. Well, that's a large part of the base of the Republican Party. Another part is the nativist element. If you look at the demography of the United States, the white population will soon become a minority. The phrase that's used is, they are taking our country away from us. They being all of those bad people. And that's a big part. It's an element in American society. These sectors have been mobilized by the Republicans roughly in the past 20 years for a very good reason. The Republican Party, since about 1995, has stopped being a parliamentary party. It's off the spectrum. They are so dedicated to service to the extreme wealth and corporate power that they cannot get votes by putting forth their own programs. So they've turned to other forms of popular mobilization on what are called, social issues. I mean, should you read the Bible in class? Anti-abortion? Should you prevent blacks from voting, or whatever it may be? That part of the base is strongly pro-Israel. That's
because y'all think blacks just gonna keep being able to vote? Oh nah, there is plenty of people who trying to get rid of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. That's the only reason you can vote. I try to tell people that shit all the fucking time. If you think that shit just gonna keep playing out like this, you gonna get one of these extreme ass fucking presidents in there who decline on that shit. We're not gonna renew the Voters' Right Act for the next term. What? Black people can't vote.
One phenomenon, but there's much more than that. That Bible in class, anti-abortion, should prevent blacks from voting, or whatever it may be. That part of the base is strongly pro-Israel. That's one phenomenon, but there's much more than that. AIPAC, the lobbying organizations, they're important. Sheldon Adelson and the big contributors, they're important. But I think there's much deeper reasons for the unique Israeli support for U.S. support for Israeli policies, and you see it if you look over the history. When did this support develop? I mean, it wasn't true in the 1950s. There was support for Israel, but Eisenhower didn't hesitate to force Israel out of the Sinai right before a presidential election. Most sensitive moment. Just told them get out or else. And threatened them. They naturally got out. Have to do what the U.S. said. But the big change was in 1967. What happened in 1967? There was a conflict in the Arab world between radical Islam in Saudi Arabia and secular nationalism, which meant Egypt. The United States pretty consistently supports radical Islam, just as the British did in the day when they ran the place. Secular nationalism is considered a threat. It might move towards independence, and that is intolerable if you're trying to run the world. Running the world is, for good reasons. You could go into it, but it is intolerable. And radical Islam has been more under control. Well, in 1967, Israel administered a lethal blow to secular nationalism. They smashed Egypt, which was the center of it. Big gift to Saudi Arabia. In fact, there was a war going on at the time between Saudi Arabia and Egypt, a kind of a proxy war in the Yemen, and Israel settled it in favor of Saudi Arabia, the main U.S. ally, the extremist, most extreme Islamic radical state, but it's where all the oil is, so that's been the U.S. ally since the 1940s. This was a major gift to the United States and its ally. You take a look, that's when American aid to Israel shot up. In 1970, you may recall, there was the government of Jordan initiated a military campaign against the Palestinians in Jordan. real massacre. It looked for a while as if Syria might move to protect the Palestinians. The U.S. didn't want that. The U.S. was completely embroiled at that time in Southeast Asia, couldn't do a thing. It asked Israel to mobilize its forces to compel Syria to withdraw. They did, and the U.S. aid to Israel quadrupled that year. And so it continues. There's a very close strategic alliance. It extends to military and intelligence relations, which are very close. So it takes a drone technology. A lot of it's developed in Rafael Industries near Haifa. The main Israeli economy by now relies very heavily on high-tech military production and export in close relationship to the United States. Very recently, a document was released under the Freedom of Information Act demonstrating U.S. participation, tolerance, and participation in Israeli nuclear and other high-tech developments since about the 1960s. It's very close if you look at the details. There's an interesting article by William Greider that just came out about it, describing some of the details. Rafael Industry, the major Israeli military industry, is so closely linked to U.S. military industry that it has actually transferred its management headquarters to Washington, where the money is. In fact, one of the most interesting exposés from WikiLeaks listed high-level strategic locations that the United States ranked as necessary to protect at all costs. One of them was Rafael Military Industries near Haifa. Intelligence connections have been very close for a long time. These are really significant matters, basic reasons for the continuation of the close relationship. There also are cultural issues, no doubt. One is Christianity. I mean, Christian Zionism goes back before Jewish Zionism, and it's very high level. It's not just evangelicals, it's a high level phenomenon. Lord Balfour, Woodrow Wilson,
more evidence that what you believe affects your actions.
It does. I mean, for them, these are Bible, people read the Bible every morning. It's God said that the Jews have to go back to the land of Palestine, land of Israel. Okay, we've got to do it. This is a strong element in high-level U.S. policy. Then there's the popular base, like evangelical Christianity, mostly incidentally since about 1950. There's another relation which I can't prove. You can think about it. It seems to me possible. The United States is a settler colonial society. That's a special form of imperialism. It's true of the United States, Canada, and Australia, and New Zealand. A specific form of imperialism.
Colonization. I'll tell you, everywhere they go.
That's another relation which I can't prove. You can think about it. It seems to me possible. The United States is a settler colonial society. That's a special form of imperialism. It's true of the United States, Canada, and Australia, and New Zealand. A specific form of imperialism which you don't just rule the colony, like say the British in India, but you eliminate the population and you settle it. Unique form of imperialism. We're a striking example of it. Well, what's Israel? It's a settler colonial society. I suspect that resonates with Americans. They're doing what we did, so it's got to be something right about it, because we did it,
Okay.
That was Noam Chomsky. If you guys, that was just one excerpt from a much longer lecture that he gave. The lecture is probably like 2 hours long. And he's been given, like, if you just YouTube Noam Chomsky, there's fucking hours upon hours upon hours of, you know, hard facts and his opinions. Just like he said just now, look, I can't prove this. You can just look into it, but I think that's why, another reason why, is because they remind us so much of ourselves. Let's go kill them, take their land, because the Bible said so. Yay! Why are you doing this to us? It's in the Bible. That book is 2,000 years old. You still read that shit? I think I'm gonna do a Bible series called "It's in the Bible." Exactly. And there is no original copy of the Bible. Every Bible is a version. It's all a version. The King James version, the New Holiness version, the Jehovah Witness version. Man, you ain't got no real Bible. Man, that shit been gone. You say that shit been rewritten and re-edited and rewritten and re-edited and rewritten and re-edited so many fucking times. How many fucking councils they had to fucking edit that shit? Council in Nicaea. They done been doing that shit since 325 AD. 325 AD. Motherfuckers been trying to figure out if God is if Jesus is divine or is he a created creature. Motherfucker, that was 300 years after he died. Y'all still don't know if he the Christ a creation. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all don't even believe this shit, man? Man, please. But when he coming back? Oh, no man shall know the time of bitch. Man, they been 400 years of slavery. Where this motherfucker was at? Oh my God. Yo, Jesus. You need to get your ass down here, man. Don't fuck around with you, man. You seen what they did to Freddie Gray? These motherfuckers been bombing Syria for how many years? Where Jesus at? Damn. Oh, he will return, riding upon a cloud. Now y'all keep paying them tithes and offerings if you want. Pay all them tithes and offerings. Go ahead. God damn. And then this motherfucker find a goddamn parking spot close to the front door at Walmart. Like, oh, thank you, God. That's such a blessing. Bitch, it's a parking spot. Calm your ass down. God ain't do that shit. It don't work like that. Motherfuckers win $5 on the scratch off. Oh, thank you, Jesus. It's $5. Jesus ain't help you win no damn $5. Damn. You're out of here. No, you stay quiet. You stay quiet. He's still watching. He just mad. He's still watching though. He's still watching. Mad as hell. I said, where in your stream you ain't like yesterday? What you gonna do about it? I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do nothing. But block your silly ass. Why the toddy, my dammy? Oh, it's so quiet in here, this bitch now. I'm about to get out of here, guys. I wasted my whole hour. Fuck around with these trolls. It's like, nah, I did a lot of talking, though. I was just happy to be out work, and the trolls was funny as shit. Y'all give me a good laugh every time. But I like laughing. That means I'm smiling, and when I smile, you can see my beautiful teeth. Smiling make my face feel good. It's face exercises. Oh, you gotta smile. Won't you smile? Baby, just smile for me. Smile for me. Won't you smile? If I had another beer, I'd be in this bitch sounding like Marvin Gaye. What? Can't drink another beer. I got work in the morning. That's how I learned my limit. I can stop at 1, but I can't stop at 2. Once I drink 2, it's a wrap, nigga. It's a wrap. I'm gonna keep drinking till I can't drink no more. I told my man I had a beer right here. He was like, what kind of beer you drink, homie? I was like, Angry Orchard. He was like, nigga, that ain't no beer. What is that? Some cider? I was like, dude, why you got it? You know, it got alcohol in it, bruh. What do you mean? So what? It's cider. Bruh, why, Irish? I should ban your ass, motherfucker. This shit is art and education, bruh. I gotta paint. I can't paint and read all your damn chats. You ain't that important, fool. Change the damn channel. You shouldn't, bitch. You shouldn't watch my fucking stream then. Answer me, please. Answer me. I need attention. Why is this guy painting? I know it's an art show, but why is he painting? Been in this motherfucker talking for 45 minutes. You should have came in here earlier.
And don't ask people who they are. You sound kind of stalkerish, dog. Calm down. I can tell this your first time in here. You don't know what the fuck to say or how to act. I didn't do anything. Oh my God. You whining like a little bitch? Don't do that. Did you just call me a bitch? Yeah, man. I ain't even get that much painted because I was talking so much. And this motherfucker come in here want me to talk some more. You happy I'm talking to you now, Irish? Huh? Huh? You gonna send me an email or something? Go to my Instagram page and like some of my paintings. Why you paint yourself naked? Cause I look good naked, motherfucker. What else? What other reason? What other reason do I need? And because I painted like 9 naked girls and no guys wanted to send me pictures of them to paint nude, so I was like, yo, I just paint myself naked. Then nobody ain't want to participate in my art projects. Fuck it, paint myself. Now you're getting really weird, dude. I knew this was gonna happen when I painted myself naked. I knew it. All these motherfuckers that come out the woodworks. God damn it. It's getting weird. I got a fucking stick with a sock on it. It's fucking weird already, bro. It's weird. Jeez. Yeah, I'm on my phone. Shut up. It was energy filled. Had a lot of fun factor in there today. Try to deliver. Try to come through with the goods. Let me get the fuck out of here, man. Alright, guys, I got 2 more days of work. What's today? It's Tuesday. I gotta work Wednesday and Thursday. So Wednesday and Thursday evenings, y'all can catch me in here after 6 o'clock. I do try to get an hour stream in after work. On my days off, you can catch me earlier in the morning, 9-ish, 10-ish, something like that. Follow me on PlayStation Network if you haven't. My gamer tag is Trap House Entertainment, and all my social media links are here. Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, all are the same tag, Paintings by the Prince. So you guys can go up there and check out my art catalog if you haven't seen any of my art yet. All the new viewers, thank you guys for coming in, checking me out, and chilling with me for a while. And all my homies, MV and everybody else, yo, Art in the Dark was in here, and my man Jay Boozy popped up in here, yo. My homies don't want to see me paint myself naked, so they just be like, "Hey, what's up? Bye." Oh, Peter. Hey, wait. It's a trifecta. All right, I'll show you real quick before I get out of here. It's like a growth. It's like a growth thing. You know, you got the seed, the tight boiled, coiled up, you know, full of energy, ready to spring. You got like the sprout actually absorbing this energy, starting to form into its true self. And then you got like the full grown tree, the trunk with the roots, you know, extending up towards the sunlight. It's a growth. It's an evolution. It's a transformation. You feel where I'm coming from? It's me naked, basically, is what I'm saying. You know? This one is, it's like, it's butt cheeks, but it's emotional, and it's expressive. And I'm trying to convey a sense of strength and uniformity. You know what I'm saying? And that's what, but I use my butt cheeks to do that. And that's how creative I am, you know? That shit tight though. That shit gonna be hot, son. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta find ways to use your butt cheeks to express yourself. See, women got it easy. All women gotta do is buy a couple pair of yoga pants, and everybody know they in a good mood today because they working that ass. You know what I'm saying? But you know, guys, it's kind of hard. It's hard for us to like show that deep emotional side of us just using our butt. I figured out a way to do it though. You know what I'm saying? I figured out how to do it. That's not fair at all. You're still a dude, and you still have the structure of a man and the muscle mass of a man. You can't lift weights with girls. It's not the same. No, my name is Sarah. No, bitch, your name is Brandon. Emotional butt cheeks. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Peace. Till next time, guys.